Yo, what's good everybody? It's Mango Llamas here. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for daily content. I make a video every day and I post multiple shorts every day. And if you're new to this channel, I just play the game, so make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I respond to all my comments. If I don't respond to you, I will respond to you eventually. And I'm sorry about not posting shorts yesterday. I will post shorts today. And today, or I think yesterday, it's very special because we hit 300 subscribers, yo. That's pretty crazy, man. I think literally like not even 2 weeks ago or something like that, we were at 200 subscribers. So I just wanted to thank you guys for 300 subscribers. Like, actually, yo, it's pretty crazy to me. So I have a pretty special video for you guys. I'm not gonna lie, man, this YouTube thing, bro, I'm trying to do this shit every day. Like, I'm not gonna stop making videos for you guys, so I really appreciate you guys subscribing to me. So let's get to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for 300 subscribers. I literally don't know how to thank you guys enough. Like, I really appreciate it. And let's get on to this special video. So this special video today is my best pure faith setup on Elden Ring PvP. Now, if you're familiar with this channel, you know I love this setup. You know I run this setup literally all the time. I think I've ran this setup for the past like 10 Elden Ring PvP videos. So to me, it's really good. And to me, probably the best setup in the entire game. Like, actually, I literally only run this setup because I only enjoy Elden Ring PvP when I'm running with this setup, okay? And we're gonna go over literally everything in this video, okay? That's why it's a very special video. So let's just get right to it. I'm gonna go over the talismans, you know, the stats, the fucking weapons, the armor, literally everything. That's why this is a special video today, and because it's my most favorite setup. So enough of me talking. Again, thank you for 300 subscribers, and let's get right into it. So there's a lot to explain with this build. So I'm gonna have the build and the items and the stats in the beginning of the video. Someone told me to do that, so in the beginning of the video you'll see all the stats and all my items, but we're gonna go over them in this video. So the first things I want to go over is the weapons for this setup. Now, there are 2 weapons you want to use for this setup. Sometimes there's 3, but I don't think I'm going to go over the third one. But the 2 weapons you want to have is the Earthsteel Dagger in your main hand and the Godslayer Seal in the offhand. So this is a pure faith build. So if you want to use a different type of seal, you can, but I think the Godslayer Seal to me is the best seal in the game. It has an S scaling in faith, and if you saw in the beginning of the video, my stats are 80 faith. That's like the main stat you want to focus on, is 80 faith. So with the Godslayer Seal, I think it's like plus 25 or plus 24. You want it as high as possible for basically every weapon, but the Godslayer Seal goes with a lot of incantations for this build. It specifically boosts Godslayer incantations, and you will be using 1 Godslayer incantation for this build. Okay, so for the next weapon on this setup is the Earthsteel Dagger. Now, for me, I don't know why I like running with a dagger so much, but it's probably like my most favorite thing to do on this game. It's probably the best setup to me, just running with a dagger. I really like the moveset of this dagger, and ever since I started playing with only a dagger on Elden Ring PvP, I haven't stopped since. Like, I've only ran with the dagger plus my Godslayer Seal for like the past like 8 videos, like I said. So we're gonna go over the Earthsteel Dagger right now. So it's plus 25. I had to get the Earthsteel Dagger on plus 25, and the Ash of War you want on it is Sacred Blade. Now, with Sacred Blade, it's gonna bring your Earthsteel Dagger to faith scaling. So it'll have a B in faith scaling. So it'll be called the Sacred Earthsteel Dagger with a B scaling in faith. So This is a really good dagger for pure faith builds. If you're on a pure faith build or any build that has to do with faith, and you want to run a dagger, definitely use the Earthsteel dagger. I think it's the best faith dagger on the game. But with the Sacred Blade, it's a really good tool to use for many reasons. So the first reason why it's a good tool to use is because when you use it, it buffs your weapon. It buffs your Earthsteel dagger with holy damage, first of all, which is really good and goes really well with this type of setup and this build. So the more faith you have, the more holy damage you'll do, so you might as well pop it every time. But what makes this Sacred Blade really good is the projectile it shoots out. So what you'll see sometimes in this gameplay is when people least expect it, or if you're trying to roll catch somebody, then definitely use the Sacred Blade. It has a lot of range. People underestimate how much range the Earthsteel dagger, no, not the Earthsteel dagger, but the Sacred Blade actually has. The range on the Sacred Blade is really long, so if you see someone, I don't know, trying to buff in the middle of a game, then yeah, definitely use that. If someone's trying to use a spell and they're queuing up for a spell and you read that, if you read like someone's about to queue up a spell, let's just say with an incantation or with a intelligence spell, and you read it, make sure you use the Sacred Blade beforehand. So if you read they're about to queue up a spell and you use Sacred Blade beforehand, it will definitely hit for a lot of damage, especially for this build. So another thing I wanted to go over with the Earthsteel dagger is the moveset of it. Now, all of it is pretty basic except for the heavy. The heavy is where it gets very complicated and why I really like the Earthsteel dagger for this pure faith Elden Ring PvP setup. Now, once you use the heavy on the Earthsteel dagger, if you just press it once, it will do a 2-hit combo. And if you press it again, it will do another 2-hit combo. But where it gets complicated is that if you press it once and then you hold it the second time fully and you let it go, the second time will be a 3-hit combo, if that makes any sense. So you can always charge the first one. The first one will always be a 2-hit combo, whether you charge it up fully or not. But the second one, if you charge it fully, then it will be a 3-hit combo. So you can really get techie with that. So you can either press the heavy button for the double swipe and then hold it again and then let it go for a triple swipe. That will do massive damage. But you won't really see me use that feature of the Earthsteel dagger because it's kind of hard to pull off. What you will see me do is use the regular heavy of the Earthsteel dagger. You'll just see me do the first heavy, which is just a double swipe, and it does good damage and it's a good punishing tool. Now, with the heavy, if you hit 2 of them, like if you hit the heavy, just the first heavy, not like the whole combo I was talking about, but if you hit the first heavy with the double swipe, because it's always a double swipe, it will do a lot of damage, especially if you have it buffed with the Sacred Blade. So that's why I really like it, and what you'll see me do with it is just punish attacks with it, or I will turn and burn with it. If you're aware of that term, I'll usually be running and then I'll quickly stop, turn behind me, and then pop the heavy, which is a 2-swipe attack, which will do massive damage. So that's it for the Earthsteel dagger. There's a lot to explain there, but it's really techie and I think is the best dagger in the entire game, especially if you're using any sort of faith build. So we're going to go over the stats for this build real quick. Now, like I said, this is a pure faith build, so the main stat is 80 faith, but all the other stats on this build are just for quality of life purposes, if that makes sense. Basically, with this build, I feel like you want to have a lot of health. Now, if you want to improve this build, I feel like definitely go for more mind on this build so you can cast more incantations, because I feel like a downside with this build is it doesn't have a lot of mind. It doesn't have a lot of FP usage, so you're gonna have to drink your blue juice a lot or your FP potion a lot, or the amber crystal whatever the fuck it's called, the blue drink, you're gonna have to drink that a lot with this build. So all the other stats on this build is mainly just so I can use other weapons when I want to. Mainly, I made all my other stats so I'm able to use like heavy weapons, like curved great swords, great swords, just up till great swords, because those kind of cost a bit of stats. So my strength and my dexterity are usually at a 20, so I can just use any other weapon I want, and I can have more variety with my weapons. So that's basically the stats. If you want to improve this build and make it kind of better, then I suggest having more mind on it. But I put those extra points into my strength and dexterity so I can have more variety of weapons I can use. But the main stat you want to focus on is 80 faith, because I think 80 faith is the soft cap for the max amount of faith damage you can do. So that's what you want to focus on, 80 faith. The rest of the stats, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it, but 80 faith is what you want to focus on. So that's the stats real quick. Now we're going to go over the armor and the talismans lastly, because this is the most important part of the build. Actually, wait, we still have incantations to go, but to me, the armor and the talismans are the most important part of this build. So you can either run the armor in two ways, okay? You can either run it with no armor at all, or only a little armor, okay? But what you need to focus on with this build is either running it with the lowest equip load as possible. Hey kitty, what's going on, buddy? Hey kitty. What's going on, kitty? Sorry, my cat just pulled up. But you want to just have the lowest equip load you possibly can. So with the lowest equip load on this build, it is basically 6 equip load, how I'm running it right now, which is really good for this build. If you run naked with this build, it's the best. But in this gameplay, sometimes you'll see me run naked, or you'll sometimes see me running with this shirt. Now the shirt is just for fashion, but other than that, run literally nothing at all, run naked. But sometimes the shirt is just there for fashion, and I'm only wearing the shirt for fashion. I'm not even wearing a helmet, gloves, or pants. It's just the shirt. But if you want to make this build the very best, run fully naked, okay? That is very important, and I'll explain why. And that's because of the talismans. Now in the beginning of the video, you'll see the talismans, and it's really hard to explain. It's really complicated, but I'm going to try to explain it to the best of my ability, because you can swap out one of these talismans for another talisman that I think is really good and is really good with this build. So the talismans on this build is the Green Turtle's Talisman, the Radagon Icon's Talisman, the Dragon Crest Shield Talisman, and the Blue Dancer's Charm. Now, you can run whatever talismans you want, but you have to have the Blue Dancer's Charm. This build is mainly focused on being fully naked with the lightest equip load possible while taking advantage of the Blue Dancer's Charm. The Blue Dancer's Charm has a soft cap of 20 equip load, or 21 equip load. So if you go past 21 equip load, you won't get the damage bonuses of the Blue Dancer's Charm. So I'm abusing the fuck out of the Blue Dancer's Charm because I'm running fully naked or with the lowest equip load possible. So when I'm running with the shirt, it's not as effective because I'm not running the lowest equip load as possible. The shirt is just for fashion, and you gotta admit, the shirt I have on this build is absolutely drippy. Okay, not a lot of people know the sauce of the shirt I'm running on this build, and I won't disclose. I won't share the sauce for this build. I won't share the sauce of this shirt on this build is what I'm saying, because this shirt is just too clean, and I've only seen like 2 people run with this shirt. So the shirt is only for fashion, but you have to run fully naked if you want to take advantage of this build. The shirt is purely for fashion. But let me talk about a bit about the talismans. So what you want to focus on is the Blue Dancer's Charm. Like I said, I'm running basically fully naked, so my equip load is really low, so that my damage is really high because of the Blue Dancer's Charm. Now I don't know the techniques or the technicals of the Blue Dancer's Charm. All I know is the lower equip load you have, below 21 equip load, the more damage you'll do. So The lowest I can possibly get is 6 equip load, so that adds a lot of damage because of the blue dancer's charm. The only downside to this build though is you take a fuck load of damage. Now, the incantations part is where you will get your defensive bonuses and not get one tapped as much, and I'll go over that in a second, but let me go over the talismans. Now, the green turtle's talisman is just, I always run that. You could, like I said, you can run whatever you want. Radagon's icon talisman though, you can switch that out with another talisman that I mentioned earlier that it might be a bit better for you if you want, but I found the Radagon's icon to be better. Now, the icon I'm talking about is the Godfrey icon. The Godfrey icon actually goes really well with this build because what the Godfrey icon does, it boosts any charged attacks, and it boosts, yeah, that's it. It just boosts any charged attacks. Literally any charge attack, it will be boosted by the Godfrey icon. So the Godfrey icon can be switched out with the Radagon's icon, but I feel like for me the Radagon icon is better because of the incantations I'm running. It basically boosts up the speed of spells, so when I read that, I was like, it would go really well with the incantations I have. But the Godfrey icon is another good option you can use because it pairs well with the Urge Steel Dagger because of the charged heavy attacks I mentioned earlier. That will do way more damage if you manage to hit those attacks. And because the Godfrey icon kind of goes with some of the incantations I'm about to mention in a little bit. But the last excuse me, but the last talisman is the Dragon Crest Shield talisman. Now, I know there's a Great Shield Dragon Crest talisman, Dragon Crest Great Shield talisman. I don't know how to get it, but I just have the Dragon Crest Shield talisman right now, so I don't have the Great Shield one, but if you can get the Great Shield one, yeah, definitely use that. But I use this talisman because, like I said, the big downside of this build is you get one tapped a lot, or you get two tapped a lot, or you just take a lot of damage to everything. So that's just a boost to your physical damage. Now, the final part is the incantations, man. We finally went to the incantations on this fucking video. This video is gonna be long as shit, but like I said, this is my most favorite setup, and I think the best faith setup in my opinion, and there's just a lot to explain. Like I said, there's just too much to explain. So let me go over the incantations. Now, these can be whatever you want, but the main ones you need are Bestial Sling, Blessings of the Erd Tree, and Black Flames Protection. Now, I just started using Black Flames Protection recently, and with the Godslayer seal, it boosts it because it's a Godslayer incantation. That's why I mentioned in the earlier in this video that the Godslayer seal goes with one of these incantations I'm about to mention, and that incantation is Black Flames Protection. Black Flames Protection just boosts your physical damage overall, which is a fucking must for this build. Okay, I recently started using it because I was like, bro, I'm getting tired of getting one tapped and two tapped by these fucking gut swords, bro, by these berserker gut swords. How can I fix that? Just pop Black Flames Protection. But on top of that, you have to buff Blessings of the Erd Tree. Now, man, Blessings of the Erd Tree is something I go over a lot on this channel because it just depends how you look at it, okay? There are a lot of things that are pretty cheesy and just like straight up not okay to use in the Elden Ring PvP Coliseum duels. I'm talking specifically about Elden Ring PvP Coliseum duels. And one of those things you're just absolutely not allowed to use and is very looked down upon is any incantation that can heal you straight up. For example, Erd Tree heal. But Blessings of the Erd Tree and other incantations like it just heal your health over time. It doesn't actually heal you for a flat amount of HP, which Erd Tree heal does. many people in the Elden Ring PvP Coliseum community straight up don't like you if you use Erdtree Heal, because it's not fair for you to use Erdtree Heal because it heals you for a flat amount of HP, which you're not allowed to do because the healing potion is not allowed in Elden Ring PvP duels. So if the healing potion is not allowed in Elden Ring PvP duels, why is it allowed to use Erdtree Heal, yet you're allowed to use it? But at the same time, Blessings of the Erdtree doesn't heal you for a flat amount of HP, it heals you over time. It's like 5, or like, yeah, I think it's 5 HP per second. So, like I said, man, it's how you look at it, bro. It's literally how you look at it. And to me, I do not think it's cheesy whatsoever, because it follows the guidelines, the quote-unquote guidelines of what is allowed and what isn't allowed on this fucking game. So, Erdtree Heal bad, Blessings of the Erdtree is good to me, but for other people it's not good. So what you need to do with these 2 buffs that I mentioned is, first, as soon as the game starts, you want to pop these buffs straight away, because some people won't allow you to do that. Some people are fucking tryhards and they won't allow you to buff during the beginning of the duel. You know, some people will bow at first, so when these people are bowing, that's your chance to buff up. But some people will only allow you to get 1 buff, or, you know, will allow you to have all the buffs active at once. It really depends on how fast you can pop these buffs. That's why Radagon's icon is good for this build, because of the buffs you have to pop in the beginning. Okay, to me, personally, sometimes I'll be nice with letting people pop their buffs in the beginning of an Elden Ring PvP Coliseum duel. Sometimes I'll be nice and let them pop all their buffs, but some people aren't as nice as me and they won't let you pop any buffs whatsoever. They won't let you pop any. So what you'll see in this gameplay is sometimes I won't have enough time to pop the Blessings of the Erdtree and the Black Flames Protection. But these 2 buffs is what makes this build good. Without these buffs, this build is actually dog shit. You need these buffs to have this build good. So, like I said, sometimes people will allow you to pop these buffs in the beginning of the match and sometimes you can't. So if you can't, then good luck. You might have to pop it in the middle of the game when you have enough distance, or just not have any at all. But most of the time, some people will allow you to only buff up once. So with that, you just make sure you use Blessings of the Erdtree. Definitely, I would highly, if you're only gonna run 1 buff out of the 2 buffs that I mentioned, run Blessings of the Erdtree, because that extra regen helps a lot. But at the same time, the Black Flames Protection's physical resist also helps a lot. So it's either one of them, none of them, or both. So hey, do with that what you will. But in this gameplay, you're probably going to see me most of the time pop both of them and be chill with popping both of them, because most people are nice, but some people will just instantly bum rush you and not let you pop any buffs. Now my favorite part of this entire build, the ultimate cheese of this build. Now before I go over the ultimate cheese, you can run whatever incantations you want. Just make sure you have Blessings of the Erdtree, Black Flames Protection, and this incantation I'm about to mention. So these 3 that I've mentioned and this one I'm about to mention, you have to have on this build. The rest of them you can have whatever the fuck, because you're on an 80 faith build. You can basically use all the incantations, so just use whatever you like. But these 3 are the best that I've used, and the best ones that I use all the time on this build, because I rarely use the other ones. But I'll go over some honorable mentions before I go over this last one I'm about to mention. So some honorable mentions are Giant's Flame Take, the Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike, and Horned Bolt. Those 3 you can use as well with this setup. But these 3, Blessings of the Erdtree, Black Flame Protection, and this one I'm about to mention, you have to have on this build. And this last one, bro, this is my favorite thing on the entire game. I've been using this thing since the game came out. I've been using this on every single build, because literally every single build can use this specific incantation I'm about to talk about. And this incantation is Bestial Sling, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Bestial Sling to me, is the best incantation on this fucking game and is the most cheesiest thing about this build. With the Radicon's icon, it comes out super fast and it's just another way to hit your opponent. So in this fucking gameplay and all the other gameplays on my channel where I run this setup, Bestial Sling is my main tool. Without Bestial Sling, bro, I just have a knife and some other mediocre incantations. You need to have Bestial Sling on this build. Bestial Sling is literally the best incantation on the game. Literally any build can use it. Any single build can use it. It only requires like 8 faith or like 5 faith. I don't really fucking know. 12 faith. So literally any build can use it. Hey, what's going on, kitty? Hey, what's going on, kitty? I think the kitty likes Bestial Sling as well. The kitty loves Bestial Sling. That's why he's pulling up. As soon as I said Bestial Sling, the kitty pulled up. But Bestial Sling is a good tool to have your... What the fuck? Bestial Sling is a good tool to make your opponents back up, to hit your opponents hard, or hit your opponents slightly, chip them down, but it's mainly just used to chip your opponent down. If you hit the Bestial Sling point blank in someone's face, it's gonna do around like 300 damage, but that's point blank. Okay, that is really hard to pull off, but when you do pull it off, it's super satisfying. Some people can just poise through the Bestial Sling, so you have to use it sparingly. But for me, how I use the Bestial Sling is just spam that motherfucker. I spam that shit, bro. I actually spam that fucking shit. I don't give a fuck. Fuck, dude, it's so OP. I fucking love this thing, bro. The Bestial Sling is the best thing on Elden Ring PvP, hands down. Plus, it's so cool, bro. It's literally a fucking shotgun. It's basically a shotgun that comes out really fast by the flick of your wrist. So, yeah, that's basically the entire build. This was a really long video, so if I missed anything, literally just go back to the beginning of this video so you can look over the stats and all the items. So if I missed anything, just go to the beginning of the video with all the stats and shit. But that's gonna be it for this entire video. This was a really long fucking video, bruh. There's a lot to talk about for this build, and I had to make this banger video because we hit 300 subscribers, bro. Like, if you're still watching, you're actually a real one. And it's like, bruh, this YouTube thing, making YouTube videos has been making me really happy, bro. Whenever I'm down or just feeling like shit, bro, I just make YouTube videos, bro. And you subscribing to this channel means so much to me, bro. I really appreciate it. Make sure you comment down below, leave a like on this video, especially subscribe. I reply to all my comments. If I don't reply to you, I will reply to you eventually. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out, yo. I love you guys.